Hey guys, I'm Rob. This is Little Man Cave on the Prairie, and today we are going to talk about some big ass shocks. Okay, big ass shocks. These are my new Fox 2.5 air shocks for the buggy. We're doing this inside today. It's gross, it's raining. My buggy is under a tarp. I don't have a garage, so it's not out and about, so figured to come inside for today. So let's get into what are these? Well, they're air shocks. Air shocks, the design is so that you can adjust them for the weight of the vehicle, the rebound, all this or other sort of stuff. As far as what they are, is well, they're adjustable by varying the pressure of the nitrogen that's inside of them. So as you want them to be stiffer or your ride height different or whatever, you just adjust the volume of the nitrogen that's inside. The first air shocks was actually designed by Bob Fox way back in like 1974, and the technology of them has obviously, gotten a lot better and looking a lot better, lasting longer. Things like this, the adjustability, the look of them, what they're made out of, everything has changed over the years. As for price, they're not cheap. Like on average with taxes and everything, you're going to spend about, well, Canadian, you'll spend about $1,000 a shock with taxes and, shipping and all that, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, deals, codes, whatever. But that's around what you're going to spend. They do have a warranty, 1-year warranty. That's it. That's all. But you can rebuild them. So like you're going to spend it once and then you don't have to spend it again. Like you just rebuild them when you're done with them, as long as, you do the maintenance. You're checking them out, you're taking them apart, checking them out, because, if you start letting things go to the point where there's too much friction or whatever, and say the viscosity is out of the oil, this, that, and the other, it's going to start wearing through the housing and everything like that. So let's get into what they're actually made of and everything like that. The body is like smooth steel. It's made out of honed seamless steel. So, that should make them a lot more durable, per se. Flying rocks or whatever. The body plating is zinc coated, so, keeping away the rust and stuff like that. And then they're clear coated just for that, good look and everything like that. I would suggest, if you're in that neighborhood of where you're throwing rocks and rain and mud and, things that are going to scratch and whatever, just give them a quick little, like after years or whatever, you should just be able to give it a quick little wet sand and a clear coat, and that's going to make them last longer. Okay, sorry, I can't remember all this stuff, so I'm just trying to go through exactly what they are. So the components are black anodized CNC machine 6061 T6 aluminum or billet aluminum. The valving is tunable. Velocity sensitive D-bird valve shims. The seals are redundant sealing pack system, main seal, a wiper seal, and a scraper seal. So that's good. The shaft is hardened chromed 4130 steel. The bearings are PFTE lined heat treated alloy steel, so that's good. And it does come with the option of a custom compression and rebound valving system that is available. You just put a -1 on your order and you'll get that. Extended, they are 46 0.78. That's massive. Compressed, they're 28.65. So, you know, that's going to give you a lot of tuning ability as far as what you want to do for ride height, for everything, like for the rebound, based on your rig's weight, where you're riding, things like that. It's going to make it tunable to the point that you can just make it work absolutely flawlessly. The mounts, they're both top and bottom mounts are both eyelet mounts, and I do like that a lot better than say having a stud up top, or, you know, like a regular shock or anything like that. So why in the world would I go with this size of shock for a Chevy Tracker? Okay, so these are 2.5s, and they will hold, this one shock will hold 1,250 pounds. That's what it's good for. I think that would be a pretty hard spring rate at that point. You'd be maxing out. But for me, my tracker is going to weigh, you know, somewhere in the 2,500 to 3,000 pounds. That's not that much, so it's kind of overkill. But I can lower it right down to where I need it to be, right? But I can go with any amount of articulation that I want at that point. Like I said, I can adjust the ride height. I can, if I'm going one place one day, I can, you know, adjust for that type of riding. And if I'm going to a place that, say, I need more clearance or something like that, I can adjust to that. There is a drawback with air shocks, is that, like, versus a coilover, is that if I have a coilover and I blow a shock, I can still limp it home. It's just, you know, I'm just losing the shock at that point. But this being an air shock, if I blow a shock, it's gonna, you know, collapse, and that's that. And I have to really limp it and be careful on the way home if my tire will even allow it, you know, versus clearance of the fenders and whatever. So there is a little bit of a drawback that way. So also, I like the look of them. Well, first of all, I like that they are the black and white, or black and silver. Black is going to be my rig with red lighting. So they really do look nice. They're going to look nice on the rig. As for the length, I'm not too terribly worried about it, because I don't mind the look of, say, this much popping out, like on the hood or something like that, as long as, you know, it's protected with the shock hoop. I don't mind that. Like, I think it looks kind of cool, and it's, you know, it's all about what you want when you're going for the look of your rig. You know, like, you want it to look the way you want it. So that might not be for everyone, but that's for me, and I do like it. I've seen a lot of other rigs with it. I don't mind that look at all. I think it just gives it a certain look that I like. That's really where I'm just at with that. But I do want the length is just so that I have whatever I do, I can do it the way I want to do it. And I have that option. I'm not going to have to buy them again. As long as I do the maintenance and rebuild them and look after them, I should be pretty good. And of course, putting them, the placement of where I put them is in a protected spot, obviously, so that, you know, if there's a rollover or anything like that, they're protected somehow, or just out of the way completely. You know, like, obviously, if there's, you know, a great big rock comes up and hits the shaft, and, you know, it comes flying at me at Mock Chicken, there's going to be damage, right? But for the most part, they should be fine. I was going to go with the 2.0s for the rear, because obviously I have an engine in the front, and I was going to do 2.5s in the front for that weight. But after looking at it, I was like, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. You start adding on cages and stuff like that. Your weight goes up. Now I'm not, you know, just a stock tracker. Obviously, this rig is not a stock tracker. So I just figured I'd go with the 2.5s all the way around. Then I'm covered. But I just wanted to show you guys my new bling. And we are getting ready to get back at the buggy. Like I said, I don't have a garage. I don't want it out in the rain and stuff, so it's covered up with a tarp. It has been all winter. I got done what I could last year in the summer, and I like the direction that's going. I did have to start over. If you want to check it out, I had to redo the body in a completely different tracker and start from scratch almost type thing. But I had all the parts, so it doesn't take me long to do the body work. It took me about a month or something like that. So, you know, and I ended up with a way better body because of it. And so yeah, it was just a move that I decided to make kind of last minute. But once I got into the frame of the red one and everything, I wanted a better frame. I wanted a better body for something that I want to build into, you know, a show vehicle. So, or a show crawler, I guess you could say. We have 90% of our parts. There are a couple things left to grab, you know, lights and electronics mostly, but we should have those. I am also going to be introducing somebody else on the channel. I'm not going to say who just yet, but so we're going to have a very knowledgeable person coming in and give us a hand to get this buggy done, hopefully this summer. And that should be coming up in a video right away. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the notification bell, and yeah, we will check you in that next one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have an excellent weekend. Take it easy. That is like awesome, covered in awesome sauce.